So today I'm going to be talking about interleukin diseases and therapeutic uses. So a little bit of background on cytokines. Cytokines are any number of substrates such as interferons, interleukins, and growth factors that are secreted by certain cells of the immune system and have an effect on other cells. So cytokines were first seen to be expressed by leukocytes. And since interleukins are cytokines, it is the term interleukin has been used to describe a group of cytokines with complex immunodulatory functions, including cell proliferation, maturation, migration, and adhesion. And immunodulatory is basically a chemical agent that modifies the immune response. And just a little background information on those terms that I just read. Cell proliferation is the process that results in an increase in the number of cells and is defined by the balance between cell division and cell loss through cell death or differentiation. And then maturation is the process of maturing, and it's the final stages of cellular differentiation. And then migration is the development and maintenance of multicellular organisms, and that means moving to specific locations. And then adhesion is the process by which cells interact and attach to a surface, substrate, or another cell. So these cytokines also play an important role in immune cell differentiation and activation. And a large group of immunomodulatory proteins that elicit a wide variety of responses in cells and tissues. So interleukins can exert both inflammatory and anti-inflammatory actions. So these are just some of the few interleukin numbers that I found. There's about 37, so it's 1 to 37, and these are just a few that really stuck out to me that I'm going to talk about. So the first one is IL-2, and that promotes the proliferation and activity of CD4 cells, cytotoxic T lymphocytes, and natural killer cells. And IL-2 is associated with cell-mediated immune response, and it's used for cancer therapy and continues to be studied as an immunodulatory treatment for sarcoma and HIV disease. And the side effects for this are flu-like symptoms such as fever, decreased blood pressure, and anorexia. And also these are going to be shown as IL-2 or IL-3, and that's just a shortened version of interleukin. Okay, so the next one is IL-3. That is a hematopoietic factor that promotes the growth and differentiation of several types of blood cells. So it's a blood growth factor. And then IL-4 is released by a subset of CD4 cells, and it helps to stimulate antibody production. And then you have IL-6, and this one really stuck out to me because this one seemed to be the one that has a lot of studies going on with it and the one that people really seem to be interested in. It's produced by macrophages and mediates acute systemic immune responses, which is like fever. And then you have the IL-8, and this one stimulates the growth of new blood vessels. So when we injure ourselves, this helps to grow the blood vessels. And then you have IL-10, and this stimulates the proliferation and activity of B cells, modulates macrophage function, enhances humoral macrophage function, and enhances humoral immunity, while also suppressing cell-mediated immune function. And then you have IL-12, which is produced by various immune cells and activates natural killer cells and cytotoxic T lymphocytes and induces the production of interferon gamma. So I'm just going to talk about a few of the diseases that I found to be interesting. I'm not going to talk about all 37 of them, but these are the ones that really stuck out to me. I haven't mentioned the IL-1 yet, but that one plays a major role in neuroinflammation, and during inflammation, these are increased levels of TNF, which is tumor necrosis factor, and the IL-1 in the brain and their presence may cause the breakdown of the blood-brain barrier. And a blockade of IL-1 activity is a standard therapy for patients with autoimmune diseases or lymphomas. And so I did talk about the IL-2, and this one plays a role in autoimmune diseases. With decreased production of IL-2 in patients with autoimmune diseases, it leads to immune defects. So combination therapies based on IL-2 may prove to be beneficial in curing immunological disorders in the future. So, another one that I talked about was IL-3, and this is for classified Hodgkin's disease, or a form of lymphoma, characterized by a low frequency of tumor cells. And IL-3 receptors expression is a common feature in Hodgkin's disease. And then the IL-4 can be a positive regulator of inflammatory arthritis, and that's a lot of things. That's something that many older people deal with. Is arthritis, and even some young people nowadays have to deal with arthritis. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is the IL-6, and again, this is the one that really seemed to stick out to me the most. That the IL-6 and the IL-4 really stuck out to me. But this one seemed to be the most in research right now. So the IL-6 has become a major target for clinical interventions in various autoimmune conditions. So it participates in the host defense against environmental stress such as infections and injury. And at the same time, it provides a warning signal by triggering a broad spectrum of biological events. So basically, this sends out a signal by telling your body to start experiencing different things. So if you are infected by something or you've been injured, the first event that's going to happen if you were injured, say you scraped your knee, you're going to feel the pain, and then you might see redness or swelling, and then there might be bleeding. And so the IL-6 basically starts these triggers and starts these warning signs. And I think that's the reason it's being viewed so much right now, is because it's very important in our everyday lives, and when we get sick and when we get injured, it's just something that tells our body what to do and when to do it.